Welcome to Think Historically, a channel devoted to history of the past and how to better understand it. The past is a complicated place. On one hand, it is easy to conclude that we have a firm grasp on what did and did not happen in the past due to the comprehensive presentations that are found in textbooks and historical documentaries. On the other hand, as one takes the steps to study history instead of just passively learning history, a host of new questions with no comprehensive answer come flooding in. Today we're going to take a look at one of these questions. What is history? The dictionary has 6 different definitions for the word history. Beyond the dictionary definition of history, some historians have defined it as a never-ending argument. And so we can see that there is a variety of definitions and explanations for what history is. All these different definitions complicate the question, what exactly is history in the first place? So let's start with an illustration of what history is and then develop our own definition based on how history functions. Imagine the past as a massive waterfall. Each little drop of water can be pictured like a moment from the past. The waterfall is made up of trillions of these drops, and they all go sweeping past us. Now imagine you're at the bottom of the falls with a cup in your hand. You hold out the cup and you fill it to the brim with water from the falls. The drops of water that you are able to capture in the cup is what we call history. Human existence includes so many moments. Each person has so many things that make them who they are, and history is not a full collection of these events. Author and scholar C.S. Lewis summed it up this way. It is not a question of failing to know everything. It is a question of knowing next door to nothing. Each of us finds that in his own life, every moment of time is completely filled. A single second of lived time contains more than can be recorded, and every second of past time has been like that for every man that ever lived. With this illustration in mind, our definition of history should not only explain what it is, but also its limitations. Understanding both its scope and limitations will allow us to put it into a frame that will make us better students and readers of history. Your memories are not the fleshed out versions that you think they are. They're actually more like skeletons, and whenever you recall them, you have to reanimate them, putting flesh on them, putting details on them. Each time you recall a memory, you either add details or you neglect to include certain details, and then that memory is recorded. And when you recall it again, you're recalling those additional details that you added or the details that you did not add. This is why you can have 2 people who experience the same event, but later, when recalling it, disagree on what really happened. This little known fact is why eyewitness testimony is often considered unreliable in court cases. Regardless of how inaccurate our memory might be, what it provides us is vital for our sense of self. Memory allows us to form an identity based around who we think we are and what we think has happened to us. Without memory, we would be forever stuck in a repeated pattern of forgetting and relearning key skills and life lessons that have made us who we are. So, what is history? It is a remembered past that we all get to learn and experience together. Thank you for listening, and I hope you guys all come back to hear more about how to think historically.